The macroeconomic fundamentals are very good. Fiscal balances, current account balances all look fine. Inflation is low and the debt to GDP ratio is coming down.
Last year, the budget for public infrastructure was 300 billion. This year is 400 billion. So the Philippines is progressing extremely fast in the improvement of its infrastructure.
Government today has made infrastructure development, particularly through public-private partnerships, a priority. This is the first time after a few administrations that this has happened. Both the public and the private sector are enthusiastic about the opportunities going forward.
When they come here, what they find is a workforce which is very good. Real wages are competitive with the rest of the region. It's a young workforce. And of course, it's a workforce that everybody knows speaks English very well, but is very dedicated to its work.
It all began with a simple vision. My vision was to create the largest food company in the world. The success of homegrown companies like Jollibee, I believe, is proof that the entrepreneurial spirit of Filipinos knows no boundaries.
The current migration of Filipinos all around the world has brought with them to an understanding and assimilation of different cultures. And as the younger generation decide to come back to the Philippines, they bring with them ideas that are fresh, that are new, that are different. And as they bring back part of that culture back to the Philippines, I think that this melting pot is going to yield very, very exciting and new products, ideas, businesses for the next generation. The Filipino worker is always very passionate about what he does, and he's very, very open to learning new ideas, which is very, very important for my designs and for my craft. And that's what makes him, I think, unique in this part of the world.
Philippines is in such a good position now to show what we're capable of, to showcase what we can do for the world and how we can be a good example. We have a lot of talents. We have been through a lot. It's quite a young democracy, it's quite a young country, and it's amazing how it is growing like this, at this pace.
The Philippines was chosen for Keppel's first venture for the number of reasons, with the vibrant inter-island shipping sector also situated along the South China Sea trade route. The country has a healthy demand for quality shipyard services. Pro-business policy and the support from the national and local government and bodies such as Board of Investment and the PESA have also made the investment and operative environment conducive with help in the growth of our business.
The Malampaya project was established 11 years ago, and the Malampaya Phase 2 and 3 projects are there to ensure that we will be able to supply that power until 2024 when our contract ends. Natural gas is a very clean source of energy.
The Philippines is part of a region which is one of the most dynamic in the world. What you could call Factory Asia, which is that whole group of countries, East Asia, Southeast Asia, that together basically produce a lot of the global value chains in many areas. That Factory Asia is growing. And within that Factory Asia, real wages in China are really moving up very, very fast. So more and more investors are looking to sort of move parts of that value chain around. And the Philippines is always a number 1 or number 2 on that list.
There are two major assets that the Philippines has that money cannot buy. This is something like the landscape, obviously. I think 7,000 islands speaks for itself. And the number 2 are its people. The hospitality that the Filipinos render to the tourists is just amazing. It comes from the heart. They are genuinely hospitable. It's like they're welcoming strangers in their own home. The Department of Transportation Communication is putting up all this infrastructure that is necessary to bring all the tourists around, and out of all the 7,000 islands, finding the way to get there. The private sector is doing its own work by building more hotels and more rooms to accommodate more people in different places of the Philippines.
I think it's the time that we can show the world what the Philippines has to offer. We have not only the most beautiful beaches, we don't only have really good economic growth, which can benefit their investments. We're a country that can really compete with countries all over the world. And given this opportunity to show what we have, and I always say the best thing about the Philippines is the Filipino. Given that opportunity, I think we'll be able to get more people on our side.